Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is January 23rd of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters, located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland, is going to stage a nuclear event emanating out of Iran in the next 100 hours, most likely commencing on the date of January 24th, and then climaxing on the date of January 26th, which would be in the morning of January 26th in Iran, and then in the United States it would be broadcast live during the live broadcast of an NFL playoff game on Championship Sunday. So before I get into the potential scenarios which are blinking red in respect to Iran, it's imperative to understand who controls Iran. So back in 1953, the United States executed a coup d'etat in Iran. It was the CIA and the Mossad from Israel, and it was entitled Operation Ajax, and they installed a Islamic dictator known as the Supreme Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in power after kicking out the Shah of Iran. And basically, Iran is a Persian country with an Islamic dictator. And so this scenario was created specifically so that the CIA can smash Iran against Israel and or the United States as pretext for World War III. That's the only reason why it happened. And everything that has happened since 1953 has been leading up to this. And this is all going to climax in the Middle East on the date of January 26th. In respect to more recent history, we had the June 13th preemptive attack by Israel on Iran targeting Iranian nuclear scientists, which was specifically designed to foreshadow a nuclear revenge attack by Iran targeting Israel under the United States at the later date. And then the United States came in on June 22nd, 9 days later, and executed bunker buster bombing attacks targeting 3 nuclear sites in Iran at Fordow, Isfahan, and Natanz. And that has provided a scenario where unable to execute an Iranian revenge attack thus far, the CIA has gone to a destabilization. They're basically going to, because they can't stage an Iranian false flag attack to start the war, now they're going to take out the leadership and then claim that somebody else seized command and control of Iran in order to execute these attacks. So things are very fluid right now. We have probably hundreds, if not thousands, of Israeli Mossad members inside Iran that are committing acts of war crimes against the Iranian people. They're shooting civilians en masse. And according to the latest reports, they're evacuating hospitals all across Iran. And this suggests that the CIA is planning on staging some sort of false flag targeting hospitals in Iran, possibly ISIS in nature. It's also designed to foreshadow that there's an incoming strike by the United States, which is going to likely start this entire process. And the reason we know that they're still getting ready to execute a major false flag coming out of Iran, which I'm going to state for the record here on January 23rd of 2026, is that it's going to end up with a nuclear attack, either in Iran, with a nuclear detonation in Iran, a nuclear detonation in Israel, a nuclear detonation in the Middle East, a nuclear detonation in Europe, and or a nuclear detonation in the United States or Canada. And in the aftermath, so this attack was supposed to go down on January 19th, but yours truly published a timely video which subsequently prevented the mass hanging of 837 people. And so what's likely going to happen in the next 100 hours is that the CIA is going to activate their Mossad terrorists inside Iran. And then because because the leadership, believe it or not, of Iran is Jewish, they're going to execute roughly 1,000 Iranians as part of this blood sacrifice. So this is a Jewish blood sacrifice thing. They hate Iran, they hate the United States, and they want us to go to war against each other. And so they're going to murder up to 1,000 people, and that's going to be a blood sacrifice offered up to World War III. So according to reports from the United States, approximately 5,002 people, 5002, have been killed in Iran. Of course, this has the SS numerology, which is the name of ISIS, or SS, the secret headquarters of CIA headquarters in Geneva. And then we have reports that 26,800 people have been arrested, which is also designed to foreshadow that some sort of mass attack is coming on the 26th. According to Iran, they say that 3,117 people have been killed. This, of course, has the 3-7 numerology, 777, which is Yahweh. So all these numbers coming out of Iran have the CIA numeric signature on them. So we don't know how many people have been killed, but what's guaranteed is that right before they execute a bunch of nuclear attacks that are likely going to be executed by Israel, they're going to release all these videos of all these mass killings. They could be deepfake, they could be real, they could be from 10 years ago, they could be from 50 years ago, but they're going to release these videos just right up and before they start dropping nukes, because Israel is going to try to distance herself from Iran at this point. And then they have this guy named Javid Khala, Javidkhala. He's an Iranian security force or police officer who allegedly refused to shoot unarmed civilians. And so he's been arrested, and then they're going to hang him as part of this blood sacrifice, and this is going to make 838 hangings. And that's likely going to commence. So in order to foreshadow that that a war with Iran is imminent, the United States President Donald J. Trump just ordered a few days ago the USS Abraham Lincoln, as well as a bunch of destroyers in it's the third strike group of the United States Navy, is heading from Asia to the Middle East. Obviously, it's not anywhere near close to Iran, and the United States has Air Force bases, naval bases surrounding Iran on every single side, so they don't need that aircraft carrier. But this is designed to foreshadow the assassination of the United States, because Abraham Lincoln was shot in the head by John Wilkes Booth in a theater, and they're going to create a theater of war. And so the crew on the USS Abraham Lincoln may be sacrificed right up to this. So they may fly an Iranian plane with a missile into this ship that's coming towards Iran. They may stage a nuclear missile strike, an ICBM strike targeting this, but this ship is likely going to be blown up in the next few hours leading up to January 26th. It also should be noted that Iran previously executed a bombing attack targeting a makeshift U.S. aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf a few years ago. That being said, I'm going to list the scenarios which I've detailed previously in videos regarding Iran and what's going to happen there in the next 100 hours. But it's imperative to know at this point that the leadership, that similar to how the leadership of the United States has been hijacked by Zionists, how the leadership of Germany was hijacked by a Zionist named Adolf Hitler, a Jewish Zionist, the leadership of Iran has been hijacked by two Jews, in particular Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and Hassan Rouhani. And while most people that are unaware of who the Jews are and who the Zionist establishment is and how they're basically chameleons who are able to camouflage themselves in various cultures. This is where the term Jewish diaspora, disappear. Diaspora is constantly the same as the word disappear, because they marry into every royal family, into all these different cultures, and so it's hard to identify them. But they did so. The World Jewish Congress published a report on October 5th of 2009, and the headline is Iranian President Ahmadinejad born Jewish. newspapers reports. So Ahmadinejad is a Jew, and then Hassan Rouhani, who followed Ahmadinejad as the president of Iran. The Guardian of England published a report on September 25th of 2013 entitled Iranian President Hassan Rouhani Recognizes Reprehensible Holocaust. So you have these hardline Islamic dictators that hate Jews allegedly, but they're recognizing the Holocaust. And not only that, the Times of Israel published a report on February 6th of 2014 entitled Iranian President Rouhani donates $170,000 to Iran's Jewish hospital. So there's a Jewish hospital in Iran which may come under attack in the next 100 hours. And then you have Jewish presidents of Iran that are donating to Jewish hospitals in Iran. Now, if Iran hates Jews so much, you have to ask yourself the question, why would they allow them to rule their country, and why would they allow them to set up big hospitals where they're likely conducting all sorts of esoteric blood sacrifices at? So the question is how will Iran fall? So according to reports, the supreme leader of Iran, Ali Khamenei, has stated that the reports are that he may flee to Russia. So what's going to happen is, in the next 100 hours, the United States is likely going to launch airstrikes. Donald J. Trump is likely going to be given fraudulent evidence regarding Iran, such as fake videos or fake data or fake whatever, and that to suggest that Iran is ready to execute a nuclear attack, or that they're ready to execute some sort of act of terror or invasion of a neighboring country. And then Donald J. Trump, well-meaning as he may be, is going to launch a preemptive attack on Iran, the second of which. And then this is going to result in basically an overthrow of the Iranian government. Now, it could happen without U.S. strikes on Iran. That could be a decoy at this point, but regardless of what happens there, I believe that Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the former president of Iran, will seize power in Iran. And they may assassinate the current president, Pezeshkian. Ali Khamenei may flee, but Ahmadinejad is going to take the leadership of Iran, because Ahmadinejad is the one that's famously he stated on the record that he wants to wipe Israel off the map, and he's made a lot of offensive statements on record against Israel at the United Nations and otherwise. And so he is the chosen man. And so he is this Jewish Zionist that's pretending to be Iranian, and he may be part Iranian, but he's Jewish. And so he's the one that's going to lead this World War III. That's my opinion. And so I believe that he will come to power in the aftermath of Khamenei's fall, or Khamenei may die under suspicious circumstances, or he may flee. But I believe Mahmoud Ahmadinejad or Hassan Rouhani, either one of these two Jewish Iranian presidents of Iran is going to take the helm of Iran. And then once he takes the helm of Iran, he's going to unleash basically all these ICBM strikes. So they tried this scenario with Kim Jong-un in North Korea just a few days ago. And this is where we're at, basically, is that they're basically going to try to do a full send. Basically where somebody overthrows Putin and then gets a hold of the nuclear codes and then just sends off a bunch of missiles. Somebody knocks out Kim Jong-un, takes over and sends a bunch of nuclear missiles all over the place. And that's what they're trying to do in Iran. So that's basically the end game of what's going to happen in the next 100 hours, is that the CIA is going to have one of their Jewish agents in Iran overthrow the current regime, at least perceivably so, and then the Israeli Navy, Israeli artillery force is going to send off a bunch of nukes and then say it was Iran. That's basically where we're at this point. Other scenarios include, but are not limited to, U.S. airstrikes targeting nuclear sites in Iran. These are bunker buster bombings by Northrop Grumman B-21 Raiders, Lockheed Martin F-117 Nighthawks, or Northrop 2 B-2 bombers. So if the United States goes in, bombs a bunch of nuclear facilities, they could explode into nuclear eruptions. They would likely say that there was a bunch of bombs down there that exploded, obviously making a clusterfuck in Iran. These are these GBU-57A/B MOB bunker buster bombings, possibly targeting the Fordo uranium enrichment plant, the Isfahan Nuclear Technology and Research Center, or the Natanz nuclear facility. So basically, we would see a redux of Operation Midnight, where the United States bombed all these sites, and these bombing of these sites may have also provided logistics cover for a detonation at these sites if they're attacked again. So in other words, the U.S. bombed these sites, then the CIA went in and placed in large amounts, like hundreds of thousands of tons of TNT, and then if they bomb them again, then they explode and it looks like a nuclear reactor or explosion. So as previously stated, ISIS-related attacks back on September 22nd of 2018, they staged an ISIS attack targeting an Iranian military parade. So possibly U.S. or Israeli-backed ISIS-related attack targeting Iranian military bases or Iranian nuclear sites. And then on June 7th of 2017, they staged an ISIS gunman and suicide bombing attack targeting the mausoleum of Ruhollah Khomeini in Tehran, as well as the Islamic Consulate Embassy building, the capital building of Iran in Tehran. So some sort of CBRN related attack targeting those two locations is expected, most likely by the Israeli Mossad, and scapegoated onto ISIS or some other Islamic terror group. As previously mentioned, Hassan Rouhani or Mahmoud Ahmadinejad-based coup d'etat, some sort of Night of the Long Knives like military coup d'etat. And this is, and then some sort of puppet that's going to be placed there, some Zionist puppet that's basically going to start World War III. Some sort of Muslim extremists. And then, of course, what's always expected is Iranian 9/11 style nuclear terror attacks or Iranian nuclear ICBM strikes targeting multiple locations around the world, most likely Israel, United States, and or Europe. So that's what's on the agenda for the next 100 hours. Like I said, it's likely going to start with an overthrow of the Iranian government by hardliners, previous presidents, Hassan Rouhani, Ahmadinejad, and then it's going to climax with nuclear events. So this is what's expected. It'll likely climax on the date of January 26th, like I said, during the live broadcast of NFL football playoff games in the United States of America, because the end game is to have America go to war with Iran, because Israel wants the United States and Iran to go to an endless war so they can bankrupt the United States and destroy all of our able-bodied men, and then they can expand into Iran. Because Israel is hell-bent on taking over the whole Middle East. They're psychotic, and that's their agenda, and that's what they want to do. And this is apparently is going to go down in the next 100 hours. So if it does, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.